Good morning, student. Welcome to the online classes of zoology. And today I'm going to discuss about the small intestine. In our previous lecture, we have already discussed about the digestion in stomach. And in this lecture, I'm going to tell you about the structure of small intestine and the anatomy of this part. As we know that the alimentary canal of higher animal is a long muscular tube and it is lined throughout by some mucous membrane, and it consists of two sets of muscles. There are two sets are present, and the small intestine is a part of the gastrointestinal tract that follow the stomach, which is in turn followed by the large intestine. The small intestine is the site where almost all of the digestion and absorption of nutrients and minerals from the food take place. So, there are many types of muscles. Circular muscles and longitudinal muscles are present, and because of these muscles provide peristaltic movement for the passage of the food. And if we talk about the length of this part of intestine, so it is in adult human male it's 6.9 meter, and in adult female it's 7.1 meter. It can vary greatly from as short as 4.6 meter to as long as 9.8 meter. So there are many variations are present. The small intestine is approximately 2.5 to 3 centimeter in a diameter, and if we talk about the part of this small intestine, it is divided into three sections. First is duodenum, second is jejunum, and third is ileum. The duodenum is the first section of the small intestine, and it is the shortest part of the small intestine. This is the part where most chemical digestion using enzymes take place. And the jejunum is the middle section of the small intestine. It has a lining which is designed to absorb carbohydrate and protein. And the inner surface of the jejunum is a mucous membrane. Is covered in projection called villi. And because of these villi, the surface area of tissue available is increased, and it is because of to absorb nutrients from the gut content. So the epithelial cells which line these villi possess even larger number of microvilli. There are also present microvilli. The transport of nutrients across epithelial cells through the jejunum includes the passive transport of some carbohydrates and the active transport of amino acids, small peptides, vitamins, and most glucose. And as we all know that in a passive transport there is no need of energy, means ATP, and in the active transport it is mandatory to the energy. So, the alimentary canal all along its length consists of numerous glands, some of which are special type and all have their ducts opening into the mucous membrane. So they pour their secretion into the lumen. There are many types of glands are present. About them we will discuss in this lecture. Third part is the ileum, and this is the final section of this small intestine. The function of the ileum is mainly to absorb vitamin B12, bile salts, and any products of digestion that were not absorbed by the jejunum. The wall itself is made up of folds, each of which has many tiny finger-like projections called the villi. They are present on its surface. The ileum has an extremely large surface area both for the absorption of enzyme molecules and for the absorption of products of digestion. So, in this way, the alimentary canal of animals shows striking adaptations for the nature of food and the feeding habits of themselves. According to C.M. Young, the alimentary canal in animals has the some following important functional reason. Some reasons are reasons of reception like mouth and esophagus, reasons of conduction and storage, esophagus and stomach, and the reason of internal digestion in which the small intestine is included, and the reason of final digestion and absorption. And fifth part is the region of feces formation. So in this way, mostly the digestion and absorption are take place in this area, small intestine. The three parts of small intestine are slightly differentiate to each other. And now let me tell you something about villi. The villi contain large numbers of capillaries that take the amino acids and glucose produced by digestion to the hepatic portal vein and the liver. Lacteals are the small lymph vessels that are present in villi. They absorb fatty acids and glycerol, the products of fat digestion, into direct circulation. So, in this way, the main function of these are to absorb. They absorb fatty acids, layers of circular and longitudinal smooth muscles enable to digested food to be pushed along the ileum by waves of muscle contraction, and this is called peristalsis. As I earlier said that the alimentary canal is lined throughout by mucous membrane, and there are two sets of muscles, inner circular and outer longitudinal muscles, and these muscles provide the peristaltic movement for the passage of the food. And inside the muscle layer, the mucosa and submucosa, which enclose the lumen of the alimentary canal, they are also present. Mucosa is granular and has a very large surface area. Between the mucosa and submucosa, there is a mucularis mucosa. So, there are many glands are also present. About them we will discuss in our next lecture. So in this way, the undigested food, the waste and the water are sent to the colon. This is the small introduction. It's an introductory part of the structure of small intestine, and in my next lecture we will discuss about the layers of small intestine. Thank you so much.